A calibration activity helps you align student grading with how you would grade, improving your students' grading accuracy. The student's grading power is calibrated through the calibration feature. To understand how calibration works, we first need to understand student grading power. Grading power is the amount of influence a student's evaluation has on their peers' creation. Grading power is the weighted average of a peer's evaluation they received. The weight of each peer evaluation is the grading power of the evaluator. The grading score reflects the quality of the grading skill of that student. Students receive grading ranks, which are loosely represented by the number of stars on their avatar border. If a student has a lower grading power, their evaluation has less of an impact on their peers' creation grade, compared to a student evaluator with a higher grading power. Students gain or lose grading power based on how closely their evaluations match the final creation score of the peer they are evaluating. To ensure students are grading accurately and as close to the instructor's grading, we use a calibration activity to adjust grading power accordingly. As mentioned previously, students' grading powers are calibrated through the calibration feature. As the instructor, you will review and select 3 creations of a previously finalized activity or attach sample creations. Typically, we recommend you select 3 creations of varying levels. For example, you may want to choose an outstanding or above average creation, 1 average creation, and finally a below average creation. This way, you can get an idea of the overall strengths and weaknesses of your students' evaluation skills. Once you have selected your 3 creations, you will then evaluate these creations as you would any other assignment. Then you will schedule the activity where students will then evaluate the same 3 creations. Student evaluations will then be compared to the evaluations provided by the instructor through the Kritik AI-powered system. Through the calibration activity, only the student's grading power may change depending on how close the grades they gave are to the professor's. This will be reflected in the number of stars the students have on their icons. To create a calibration activity, select Create Activity, then select Calibration under the activity type. If you would like to base your calibration on a past activity, where you can select 3 creations that have been previously completed, select Past Activity under the Apply Calibration heading. Choose the course and activity you wish to select the creations from. Create the objective of the activity and state the instructions you wish your students to follow. You will then select the rubric and specify any criteria you wish for the activity. Now it is time to select the creation you wish to use for your students to evaluate. Choose the student and score the creation accordingly based on the rubric. Continue to select and evaluate the remaining 2 student creations you wish to use for the rest of the calibration activity. Once you have completed your evaluations, select Create Activity and you're all set to begin scheduling. To create a calibration activity as a new activity, select New Activity under the Apply Calibration heading. Set your objective and the instructions you wish your students to follow. Select Create Creation, then either copy the creation you have created in the text box or attach a file. Then give your creation a score and select Done. Continue to create and evaluate the remaining 2 student creations you wish to use for the calibration activity. Finally, select Create Activity and you're all set to begin scheduling. Aside from a calibration activity, another way to calibrate the grading power of your students is by manually changing the grade of a creation. This is called a micro-calibration. You can do this by going into an activity and selecting a student, then selecting Edit Score and manually grading the student's work. The peer evaluators of this creation will have their evaluations now compared with yours instead of one another.